Hey there, Simon here from AQ Outdoors, just checking in with a really quick first thoughts review on the Gala Sport Manic bench shaft paddle. I just got this a month or so ago and have been using it for a bit of teaching, a little bit of slalom, a little bit of river running here and there. I've paddled Werner paddles forever, and so this was a very unique change to start trying this paddle out. So, first of all, the things I like about it. There are also going to be things that some people won't like about it, but that's fine, right? That's how it goes. So here, first of all, the blade. So it's a foam core blade. It has a Dynel edging on the outside, so it feels like it's really tough. It's also very, very smooth through the water. It's a nice large paddle blade, which gives a really powerful stroke. And based on the blade shape, there's very, very little flutter in forward strokes, sweep strokes, and reverse sweep strokes as far as I can tell. I've only played around with paddles that have this sort of 10 or 15 degree offset forward. This really helps with creating a longer stroke because your catch enters the water further towards the front of the boat. And I must say that I really, really like it. It allows you to get a longer, more powerful stroke. It allows you to have a more vertical paddle stroke as well, whilst having good body rotation. So I really, really enjoy that. This is an adjustable one as well. So it's 194 when it's fully retracted. It goes all the way out to 204. I typically paddle with a 197 because it's a good all-round paddle size for me. But this one here, I've put it out to 201 and I'm really enjoying that. But when I've been goofing around playboating a little bit with it, I've shortened it down so it's not such a long lever. I tend to have a pretty narrow grip when I'm paddling. I don't tend to hold the paddle out this far, and it feels very natural, kind of holding the paddle in my natural sort of position there. I don't feel as though I'm forced to hold it all the way out on this bench shaft. It feels natural, the strokes feel powerful, and it feels controlled. So I think maybe the downsides of this, first off the bat, is, again, I like the large blade size, but it's certainly not for everyone. It's going to require someone who paddles a fair bit or a very strong paddler. I fall more into the well-conditioned paddler than the strong paddler, I think, but I do enjoy it. But if you're a smaller paddler or you don't paddle as much, this is a very large blade to handle. One of the things I found very awkward to start with, having not paddled with these offset blades before, is when you loosen the grip on the paddle, which I do a lot when I'm teaching, the blade falls funny. In a regular blade, it sits vertical like that, but if I am doing a demo and I'm trying to highlight a loose grip on the paddle, quite often it'll fall like that, and then the paddle's in a really odd position for me, and then I've got to kind of scramble to get it right again. So that took a little bit of getting used to, starting to get there, but that off the bat felt a little bit odd. The shaft is incredibly slippery. Like, it's a very smooth carbon, and the resin that they use, it has no grip at all, it feels like. So if you've got any sunscreen on your hands or even sweaty hands, it feels like the paddle is going to slip out of the palm. So I would recommend maybe using some paddle wax or something like that to get that off. I guess you could also scuff it up a little bit with some sandpaper or something, but that may be not the most advisable course of action. One other note on the thing that I think is really interesting about this paddle, maybe not a pro or a con, is with this big offset on the blade, I'm not super flexible. So when I set up to roll, especially with demos, when I'm really trying to show people how you get the paddle out of the water when you set up in a roll, I really have to work hard with a non-offset paddle. But with this, when I set up, because it sits closer to the surface, it's much, much easier for me to demonstrate that. And in turn, I think for many people that would make rolling feel a little bit easier because the paddle blade's getting to the surface, and then that combined with the foam core and the floatiness of the blade, I think is a real positive in the rolling realm. Again, that's very personal. I'm not sure if that will translate to everyone, but it certainly feels that way to me. One other little thing is, it's not a cheap paddle. This paddle is going to retail somewhere between $800 and $950 once it comes to market here in Canada. So you definitely want to be using it a lot, and it's also very hard to see in the water if you become separated from it. So it may be one of those things that's worthwhile putting some bright colored tape or something on, just so that you do protect your investment in that regards if you do become separated from the paddle. But that's it, that's all. The Gala Sport Manic bench shaft adjustable paddle will be available at AQ Outdoors, and that's my first thoughts on it. So thanks for checking out the video. Hope you found some value in that. If you liked the video, please click subscribe. If you got any questions or comments, chuck them below. And if you want to find out more about the paddle or us, you can check us out at aqoutdoors.com.